welcome to the 113th installment of Em Alejandro, your number one place for sports, cars, video games, fitness. If you're a man, you're here. Mr. Alejandro's about to tell him.
What you about to tell him, Alejandro?
Breaking news. The Oklahoma City Thunder have just fired their head coach, Scott Brooks, after a season where they missed the playoffs.
Damn!
What does this mean for the Oklahoma City Thunder? Does this mean Kevin Durant will leave OKC? What about Russell Westbrook? Will he leave too?
Houdini!
I cover these tough topics in the
Tell 'em so.
Tell him, Alejandro!
The Oklahoma City Thunder have just fired their coach, Scott Brooks. He's been with the team for several seasons and he's been quite successful with this team. I personally am shocked by the firing. Here's why. Because of the timing. In years past, specifically last season, I feel like Scott Brooks didn't do a good job in terms of coaching offensively. The game plan was poor and it was basically give the ball to either Durant or Westbrook in an isolation or pick and roll situation and let them work magic. That's not a good offensive strategy, even with stars, you feel me? However, this season, I don't feel like Scott Brooks should have been fired. I feel like the organization is making him the culprit as to why the team was unsuccessful. This season, the Thunder did not make the playoffs. I'll tell you exactly why. It ain't rocket science. You have one of the best players in the NBA, Kevin Durant. He was injured all season. He missed 55 out of 82 games. He was the MVP last season. Remember Mr. Alejandro's campaign? KD for MVP. KD for MVP. Then he had the 54, and I started hitting y'all with the Mr. 54. He wasn't on the court. That's a big loss. Then Russell Westbrook missed 15 games out of 82. He also is another magnificent player. If you're missing Westbrook and Durant, you may struggle. Also, in the final 18 games, the Thunder missed their third best player, Serge Ibaka. So how could the organization fire Scott Brooks right now? That's like saying they expected more from Scott Brooks and the OKC Thunder. The team, if healthy, I felt like was a team that could compete for an NBA championship this season. To fire him now, I feel like that's not a good look on the organization's part. Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook both loved Coach Scott Brooks. There are some rumors that the players are somewhat excited at possibly getting a new head coach. I'm not so sure about that, my G. I feel like they're going to have chemistry problems from here on out because next season, the pressure's on. Kevin Durant will be on his last year on his contract, and the pressure's on the Thunder to win an NBA championship before they lose Durant. If he leaves, you understand? If the next coach comes through and he does things that Durant or Westbrook don't like, they're going to be like, you know what? Coach Scott Brooks wouldn't have did that. Scott Brooks would have let us did this, that, and a third. You feel me? So I think this is like shooting yourself in the Achilles tendon. I feel like the organization is setting themselves up for a disaster next season. However, the Thunder could also be the Golden State Warriors of this season where they get another head coach and they perform magnificently this season because when you look at that roster on paper, the Thunder's roster, when you have Westbrook and Durant, my G, I could probably coach that team at least to the playoffs, my G. Those players are phenomenal. I do, however, think Durant and Westbrook will leave, not just because of this decision, but just in general, things have not worked out over there. I think Durant will go to his hometown, the Washington Wizards, and I do think Russell Westbrook will leave OKC because he's a free agent in 2017, 1 year after Durant. And then I think Westbrook will join the Los Angeles Lakers with Kevin Love after Kobe retires, and they're going to try and do something out there. But hey, we're going to have to wait and see. Until then, Scott Brooks is available. There you have it, folks. Mr. Alejandro's tough topics in the Tell 'em So. For years, there's been hoopla about the OKC Thunder possibly firing their head coach, Scott Brooks. Well, now they finally went through with it, and I personally don't think it's a good look, man. The Thunder almost made the playoffs. It came down to the last day of the regular season to see whether they would make the playoffs or not. They missed it by one game. If it wasn't for Anthony Davis hitting a big-time three-pointer to seal the deal against OKC and get the tiebreaker.
Get a direct pass into Anthony Davis over there. Very close to a 5-second count. Davis has the buzzer for the win. And the Pelicans defeat the Thunder.
OKC would probably be losing against the Golden State Warriors right now because, of course, they don't have Durant. He's injured. Come on, people. My man Westbrook had an MVP season too, man. Tried to get the team into the playoffs. What do you think? Y'all know what y'all gotta do, TEA Drakers. Tell them in the comments.
Tell him.
Tonight's swaggy green bow tie is brought to you by Essentials Staffords. It's shiny, it's glowing. It looks like some foams. I just copped some new rims. 20-inch chrome. Tune in for more sports, cars, video games, fitness, and all that. Follow at Tell Em Alejandro to hear my immediate reaction to live sports events. Or, if you want to hear me cover a certain team or topic, tell them outro music. Yo, your boy is definitely watching NBA playoffs tonight. Right now, we got the Nets and the Hawks going at it. Mr. Alejandro's first round NBA playoff predictions is coming soon. You gotta be patient, man. Stop rushing me. In the meantime, turn up and holler at your boy. Let's get it. Woo.